Lara, and you've reached my channel, Sewn by Lara. If you found your way here, welcome. Really great to meet you. Please leave a comment and say hi. I love getting to know new people and seeing what they're working on and what inspires them and what part of the world they may be in. So I'm in Canada. I'm actually on the farthest west coast of Canada on Vancouver Island. And, you know, it's a gorgeous place to be, surrounded by oceans and mountains and forests. It's just a beautiful, beautiful place. So this video is going to be a montage of some recording that I made prior to Christmas, and then what I've been working on during the Christmas break. So today is the 11th of January, and I am just going back to work tomorrow. And so I've had from basically Christmas morning when I started my leave to now to sew like a maniac and get just a lot of projects done, to do some thinking about what I want to create in the new year, thinking about what my style is and how it's kind of evolving and changing, and where there may be some gaps in my closet and how I need to maybe curate it a little bit differently. So with that in mind, I actually been following some fashion style blogs to see if I can curate my wardrobe a little bit better to suit some of the needs that I have right now. And one of the books that I picked up is called A Curated Wardrobe, and I've been working my way through that and just seeing if I can whittle things down a little bit more, because I have a desire to be buying, I guess, better quality fabric that is going to go the distance and the long haul. And so I need to think about how I'm going to use that fabric. What kind of fabrics is it going to be? You know, because my life is very broad in terms of, you know, at home I'm pretty casual in my dress, but at work, especially like one part of my work, I need to be very professional and more dressed up. And so I need tailored, structured garments for that. But the rest of my life, you know, I can live in, I won't say jogging pants, but, you know, relaxed, casual, athletic wear. So as I was saying, I had to make a little break because my boss was ringing on my other phone. So this year I have decided that I am going on a bit of a fabric diet for 4 months, and I am not buying any new fabrics because I want to sew what I have, and kind of work through some of the piles of fabric that I have. And I have got some beautiful stuff, and I need to just bite the bullet and use it, right? Normally in January, I would be laying into my quilting cupboard, which is just across from me here, and you know, just taking a 12-inch stack of quilting cottons and making them into a quilt, right? Just to use stuff up, instead of just looking at the beauty of its color and texture. So I'm kind of trying to do the same with my garment fabric as well. So anyways, hopefully that bit of fabric diet will allow me to be able to buy some higher end fabrics that will go the distance. So I'm thinking about like linens from the fabric store in way, way far away, and thinking about some silks and, you know, Cupro, things like that. Yeah, so we'll see where that goes. Right now, I have said to myself 4 months of no buying new fabric for projects, and using what I have. The only way I can buy any new fabric is to finish off a project. So for example, I have made these Foxy Legs joggers, and the material doesn't have quite enough stretch in it for the waistband. And so I need to buy some fabric, and I'm thinking, you know, some white stretchy fabric to match my pocket binding, that I can make a yoga waistband for it, and bottom of the cuffs. And, you know, that way I'm only buying a little amount, but I'm also finishing something as well. So what have I been making over Christmas holidays? Well, it's a lot. Prior to Christmas starting, I had about a week where I was at work or in the barracks at night, and everyone else was on leave and gone. It was very surreal being in the barracks with only, I think there was 3 or 4 of us there. But during that time, I was spending my evenings sewing or just getting prepared for Christmas Eve services and things like that. And I was finishing off a multitude of garments. So I will insert here a little bit about that and some footage for you can see. Just be aware, you know, it'll be a bit out of date because I'm talking about Christmas. And Christmas is already passed. In the meantime, while I am kind of passing time, I'm wrapping up a few projects. I got one more pair of joggers from Pattern Emporium. They're called Foxy Legs that I need to whip up, and they're just beside me here in a really nice aqua colored fleece that I picked up from Fabricland. Spent some time yesterday at lunchtime cutting out 2 more night shirts using the Style Arc loungewear pajama top pattern. And I mentioned before that I'm using this fabric by Katrina Rosella, and I'm not sure what it's called. It looks like Elevate something. The script is very, very difficult to read. And then the other one that I'm using, it's called Moontide by Lewis and Irene. Isn't that cute? Isn't that really cute? It's this lovely periwinkle color. That's my color. And so last night I went online to Minerva and I ordered some piping in this silvery gray kind of color, along with piping in this pinky colorway as well, to use in that. And it'll come in the new year, I'm assuming sometime in the new year. So once that comes, then I will be ready to go and start finishing that up. In the meantime, it's cut out and it's kind of ready and waiting. The other thing that goes with this fabric, because I ran out, or not ran out, they didn't have enough, and so I had to fudge something. And so the collar, the upper collar, I have picked up this fabric from K Facet and am going to use that for my upper collar. And I think it's kind of fun. Hopefully it'll complement it as opposed to looking bad with it, but we'll see. If it is bad, then I guess I might be cobbling together scrap pieces of fabric that I have here to make it work, but we'll see. We'll see. So some of the other things that I have been up to this week, I finished 2 nights ago another Deborah zebra top, and I used a stretch lace that has a bit of a flocked texture on it. It's really quite pretty actually, and it matches my skin tone really nicely. So I think that it would be a good one to, you know, just wear as a layering piece and have it underneath something, like, you know, so the turtleneck part of it could peek through the top of a boat neck sweater. I don't necessarily like boat necks. My shoulders slope too much. So that would kind of fit in there quite nicely. I was also trying to wear it on its own, and I think I can, and a bra will hide, you know, the sins underneath, so that it will look presentable, and I can just wear it with, you know, a pair of pants. Right now I've got it styled with a pair of pants that I made, just to pull on elastic pants, using a Simplicity pattern from Kalia Ali. So it's a pretty old pattern now, and you know, it looks really good. And you know, the zebra top has long sleeves, so it's a bit more winter appropriate despite being out of lace. And you know, I've tried it with another sweater that has a deeper V, and that looks quite nice. It's all kind of tonal in that colorway. So I was experimenting with that and seeing if I could make that work. So the other things I started making once I got home were, one was to make a just a sweatshirt top using this Berta style pattern, and it came together really wonderfully, though I must admit I was trying to give myself a little bit more room in the bust without doing a full bust adjustment, and I made it a bit too big around the neckline, and I'll put in pictures so you can see. It's lovely fabric. It's actually a tube of sweatshirting in this aqua kind of color, one of my favorite colors of blue. And you know, I was told I look a bit like a Smurf. I thought a Smurf was kind of more bluer, like some of the colors in my shirt here. But hey, I can live with it. And it's so nice and cozy and warm. A very versatile pattern, and it's got 3 views, one with a hoodie, one with just a standard collar, and then the other that's got a bit of a ruffle on it like that in long sleeves. So I think I might try that one out of a different lighter fabric and see what that looks like. I think that could be quite fun. So I think I'd mentioned that I also was going to make another version of this garment, that one. And I did. I had picked up from Fabricland a lovely knit fabric from their, it's one of their higher end lines that's like eco-friendly, and it's like really nice and soft and gorgeous. It was a bit tricky to sew with, but you know, it's one of those fabrics that if you are wanting to make you know, one of those lounge suits that are kind of all the rage, this would be the material that you want to use. So I made myself just a simple dress out of it, long sleeves, comes to the knee. I can belt it to give it a little bit more shape, and you know, it's in a solid navy, which works in my color palette, and I can I actually have a plan to layer it with a shacket that I picked up from H&M, and I think it's going to look gorgeous. So I'll insert some pictures of it for you to see and take a look of, and see if maybe you want to consider making one of your own. I also made something to wear on New Year's, and you would have laughed at me because I know I am not the only person who was sewing like a maniac during the day on New Year's Eve to make something to wear that night. And I was only at home by myself, but I had a party. So I had picked up 2 meters, a little over 2 meters of this stretch sequin. Well, it's not really sequin, this stretch fabric that had embossed on it a flashy, glittery stamp, for lack of a better word. It's in royal blue. It's very pretty. And I really was caught by it. So I decided that I would go and make a pair of Pattern Emporium Foxy Lake joggers out of it. And then I made those, and that came together within, 2 hours, and I really like them. And I went, oh, I need a top. I wonder what I got in my patterns that I can take. I had about 60 centimeters left over of fabric. I thought, what do I have that I can take and make out of it, so I don't waste this fabric? And so I found this in my stash. So it's Berta 5999, and I made view C. I didn't have quite enough for the back, and so I actually went and looked in my laces and trims, and I had a piece of wide lace that I just put on the bottom that lengthened it just a little bit and gave it a little bit of interest. So I really like how it came together. I think it's really cute. I think I can get a fair bit of wear out of it for, fancy occasions, or if I ever go out to a club. I haven't been to a club in like years, but I could do something with it, right? The top I could wear underneath a sweater, or like a cardigan with a pair of pants or a skirt. The bottoms, again, I could wear, I was thinking of wearing them on Dress Down Friday, actually, with a tunic top, and thinking it would look very, very neat. And so to kind of take that garment a little bit farther, I had picked up some velvet, stretch velvet at Fabricland in Courtenay, and am making the Georgia peplum top, just to have another piece that kind of works and would work with the pants, but also work with some other garments, other skirts that I have in my closet, and just kind of extend. I've come to the conclusion that I've got a lot of prints, obviously, in my closet, but I don't have enough solids, and so I am trying to build my collection of solids. So the other thing that I worked on was the Valley dress. So I had made a Valley dress back in August. So there's what it looks like. And it's by Pattern Fantastique. I had made this back in August, and I really liked it. It came together really well. But I kind of debated whether it was me or not. It might have been just a little too boho, or just, yeah, maybe not my best look. But then I saw it made in dark florals for winter in a heavier fabric on someone's Instagram, and I really can't recall whose. And I decided that I would give it a go again, right? I like to try to use my patterns, 2 or 3 times, because it allows you to get a really good fit on your patterns. But also I think like cost per make of that pattern also, changes too, right? So, and you get a sense of what's your favorite, pattern. So I found this beautiful poplin in a dark floral print, and I believe I showed it in another video. I cut it out on Christmas Day afternoon, and I have sewed it up, just finished it yesterday actually, and I quite like it. I think I want to try it with, I've got a sleeveless gilet that I want to try it and see what that looks like. Maybe add a bit of a belt to it and long boots, but I think there's a lot of potential with this. So we'll see. Anyways, I will put in some pictures for you to take a look at, and offer me your opinion on that. So those are some of the things that I have been working on. Hopefully you enjoy seeing my makes, and maybe it inspired you to look at some of the patterns that I've shown you to make some of your own. Anyways, I wish you well. I hope you have a really great week, and we'll see you around. Bye.